Imagine a world where Russia, as we know it, ceases to exist. What would trigger such a dramatic change? What would the implications be for the rest of the world? It sounds like a plot from a dystopian novel, doesn't it? But this is not fiction. Today we're going to explore the concept of Russia's potential collapse. We'll touch on the various factors that might lead to such an event, the domino effect it could have globally, and the possible outcomes for Russia itself. We will delve into aspects such as economic vulnerabilities, political instability, and global relations, each playing a crucial role in shaping the future of this vast nation. We'll also consider the historical context, which is vital in understanding Russia's present situation and potential future. This topic is complex and multi-dimensional, just like Russia itself, so buckle up as we embark on a journey through time and across borders. To understand this, we first need to delve into the history of this vast and complex nation. Russia's history is a rich tapestry, woven with periods of great power and periods of deep struggle. This vast nation, spanning 11 time zones, has seen empires rise and fall, wars fought on its soil, and revolutions that have shaped the world. Let's delve into the past. The Tsarist era, which lasted from the 16th to the early 20th century, was marked by the rise of a powerful autocracy. Under the rule of formidable leaders like Peter the Great and Catherine the Great, Russia expanded its territories and emerged as a significant European power. However, it was also a period of intense social inequality, with the majority of the population living in serfdom. The Soviet Union, birthed from the ashes of the Tsarist era, was a period of radical transformation. The Bolshevik Revolution of 1917 swept away centuries of monarchy, replacing it with a communist regime. Under the rule of leaders like Lenin and Stalin, the Soviet Union became a superpower. Its influence felt across the globe. But this power came at great cost. Millions of lives were lost due to state-induced famine, purges, and the horrors of the Second World War. The fall of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War and the beginning of a new chapter in Russian history. The transition to a market economy was tumultuous, leading to economic instability and widespread corruption. Despite these challenges, Russia, under the leadership of figures like Boris Yeltsin and Vladimir Putin, has sought to reassert its position on the global stage. Yet, the legacy of its past lingers. The remnants of the Tsarist autocracy and the Soviet command economy continue to shape Russia's political and economic landscape. The struggle between the desire for reform and the pull of tradition echoes throughout its history. This history sets the stage for the challenges Russia faces today. As we move forward, we'll delve deeper into these challenges and explore the complexities of Russia's present and its potential futures. Russia's economy, heavily reliant on oil and gas exports, is vulnerable to fluctuations in global prices. Now let's delve deeper into this. With an economy that leans so heavily on a single industry, the stakes are high. When the oil and gas market is booming, it's all well and good. But when prices drop, the effects are far-reaching and can be devastating. Imagine, if you will, a seesaw. On one end, you have the global oil and gas prices, and on the other, Russia's economic stability. As prices rise, so does Russia's economic prosperity. But when they fall, the economy takes a nosedive. This dependence on a single industry is a precarious position to be in. It's like placing all your eggs in one basket, and if that basket breaks, well, you can imagine the mess. This economic model leaves Russia vulnerable to external factors beyond its control. Geopolitical tensions, technological advancements, market shifts, even the weather. All these can influence global oil and gas prices. And when these prices fluctuate, Russia's economy gets caught in the riptide. For instance, when global oil prices dropped drastically in the mid-2010s, Russia's economy was hit hard. The country's gross domestic product contracted and the value of the ruble plummeted. It was a stark reminder of the perils of an economy overly dependent on a single industry. This isn't to say that Russia hasn't tried to diversify its economy. In fact, there have been attempts to branch out into other sectors like technology and agriculture. But these efforts have been sluggish and met with limited success, leaving the country still heavily reliant on its oil and gas exports. So, what does this mean for the future of Russia? Well, it's a bit of a gamble. If oil and gas prices remain stable or increase, the economy could continue to thrive. But if they drop, the economic repercussions could be severe. And with the current global shift towards renewable energy sources, the future of oil and gas is anything but certain. This economic vulnerability is a key factor in the potential for Russia's collapse. As we move forward, it's crucial to keep an eye on how global oil and gas prices trend, for they hold the power to sway the fate of Russia's economy. Political instability is another major issue that could contribute to Russia's potential collapse. Let's delve into the realm of politics, a sphere that is as much a battlefield as any war zone. In Russia, the political landscape is marred by numerous challenges, each one capable of shaking the very foundations of the nation. Corruption, a term often synonymous with politics, is a particularly significant issue in Russia. It seeps into all levels of governance, from the smallest municipal offices to the grand halls of Kremlin. This widespread corruption not only erodes public trust, but also hampers economic growth, creating a vicious cycle that feeds instability. And then there's the absence of a robust democratic process. Elections, the cornerstone of any democratic nation, are often viewed with skepticism in Russia. The lack of fair competition, transparency, and freedom of expression undermines the democratic ethos, creating a political climate that is anything but stable. But perhaps the most looming challenge is the potential succession crisis. Since the turn of the 21st century, the reins of Russia have largely been in the hands of one man, Vladimir Putin. His eventual departure from politics, whether voluntary or otherwise, will leave a power vacuum. And in a nation already teetering on the edge of instability, such a vacuum could trigger a scramble for power, leading to further unrest. Each of these political challenges presents a significant threat to the stability of Russia. The corruption gnaws at the trust of the people, the lack of democratic processes stifles their voices, and the potential succession crisis looms like a storm on the horizon. This is not to say that collapse is inevitable, but it is to recognize that the political landscape in Russia is fraught with challenges that could, if not addressed, lead to instability and potentially collapse. The political arena in Russia is fraught with uncertainty, adding to the potential for instability. Russia's relationship with the rest of the world is another crucial factor to consider. The international stage is a complex web of alliances, rivalries, and ever-shifting power dynamics. Russia, with its vast geographical expanse and formidable military might, has historically been a key player in this intricate dance. Yet its relations with the global community are fraught with challenges and contradictions. In recent decades, tensions between Russia and the West have escalated, harking back to the frosty days of the Cold War. The annexation of Crimea in 2014, alleged election interference, and ongoing cyber attacks have all contributed to a climate of deep-seated distrust. Sanctions imposed by Western nations have further strained Russia's economy, and the potential for conflict remains high. Yet Russia is not completely isolated on the global front. It has managed to forge strong alliances with nations such as China and Iran, often united by a common desire to challenge Western hegemony. These alliances could prove vital if Russia were to face a collapse, providing a lifeline in terms of economic support and geopolitical backing. However, these relationships are not without their own complexities. For instance, the symbiosis between Russia and China, while mutually beneficial in many respects, is not an equal partnership. China's economic dominance could potentially tip the scales in its favor, leaving Russia in a vulnerable position. A potential collapse of Russia would send shockwaves through the global political landscape. The power vacuum left behind could spark a scramble among nations to fill the void, leading to increased instability. Furthermore, the fate of Russia's nuclear arsenal in such a scenario is a chilling uncertainty that the world would have to grapple with. The complexity of Russia's global relations adds another layer to the potential for its collapse. From strained relations with the West to intricate alliances with other nations, the implications of Russia's position on the world stage are far-reaching and profound. The future, as always, remains uncertain. So, what does the future hold for Russia? This is a question that has been a recurring theme throughout our discussion. We've delved into Russia's historical context, a tapestry woven with threads of power and struggle. We've examined the economic vulnerabilities that Russia faces, the shaky pillars that hold up the nation's economy. We've also touched upon the political instability that runs deep in the fabric of its society, a constant reminder of the delicate balance of power that exists. And we've explored Russia's global relations, a complex web of alliances and conflicts that shape the country's position on the world stage. Each of these factors paints a picture of uncertainty, a future that is as unpredictable as it is intriguing. While it's impossible to predict with certainty, the potential for Russia's collapse is a fascinating and important topic to consider.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Turn on notification and leave a like to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.